Hello, St. George's. It's really exciting today to be able to introduce two very, very important guests to St. George's. Some of you might have been very curious what has been going on with our organ building. Even through the time of COVID, nothing really has stopped. We actually kept working on our new organ, and it's very exciting today. We have some new, very exciting equipment that you see. We'll actually show some examples of how the organ actually gets made. But before that, I would love to introduce to you the president of the organ company, Jean-Paul Buzard,
How do you do?
and Fred Bahr, who's a tonal director. They are visiting Nashville today with all these equipments to test the sound of some of the pipes and get used to the room. And you will actually get to see them quite often next year when the organ is about to come, when they actually stay in Nashville to install our organ for us. And it's very exciting for me to introduce them to you all and ask them to actually show us what it actually means to voice the pipe.
Hello, my name's John Buzard, and my company is building your pipe organ here at St. George's. These pipes that you see on this little bitty pipe organ, little voicing machine, are the determining pipes that will be in your instrument. Their tone color and their volume are what is going to determine all the rest of the tone colors and the volumes of the rest of the thousands of pipes in your organ. Fred Bahr and I are here today to voice these pipes, that is to bring these pipes to life in your new acoustic so that we can take them back to Champaign in our voicing studios and then extrapolate all the thousands of pipes based on what we've done here. In your pipe organ are a number of voices called diapasons or principals. They are the kind of organ pipe that does not imitate an orchestral instrument but is the organ. And these are what are going to determine the rest of the pipe's timbre and volume. Fred is working now on samples of the 16-foot double open diapason that will play on the grate and the pedal. It's a higher pitched pipe, but that's because it's the same pitch that the other samples are. Now, what do we hear in that sound? We hear a sound that is a little bit coarse, it's a little bit bright, and it has what we call too much speech when it first plays. Some people might call that chiff. It's just basically inharmonic noise. And we want to take as much of that out as we can and still allow the pipe to be able to project its sound through the room. And now Fred is nicking, is what we call nicking the languid and the lower lip of the pipe with an extremely sharp pointed tool. What this does is it basically diffuses the wind sheet that comes through that little slot, which we call the flue, and impinges on the upper lip, which Fred has just cut up. This will serve to smooth the sound of the pipe out. What Fred has just done is he's blowing into the pipe first at the pressure it's going to play upon in the organ, and then he increases the pressure with his lungs to approximately double that. And as you notice, the sound of the pipe begins to burble. And that tells us that the pipe is speaking properly, that it's speaking not too slow and not too quickly. Just like that. We've determined that this pipe is just a little bit soft in volume. So what Fred is doing is opening the toe of the pipe to allow more wind to get in. Now that Fred has adjusted the toe of the pipe, we'll hear the two lower pitches. And you notice how they're a very similar volume. The upper one is just a little bit louder than the lower one. That's what we want to hear. Now let's hear the third one. And you can tell we haven't done anything to it yet because it has too much speech and it's too loud and it's a little quick. Now that we've got the pipe voiced and we know it's the right tone color, we need to make sure it plays the proper pitch. And so Fred is now going to trim the pipe, which was deliberately made over length, so that we can do this. Pipes being made of a combination of lead and tin are very easily malleable. We organ builders are very, very detail oriented, and we like to see things just as perfect as they can be. So we have this nice trimming machine that makes the trimmed end of the pipe absolutely perfectly square and perpendicular to the cylinder. Is good? I'm JP.
And I'm Fred.
That's how you voice an organ pipe.